So, and the last part of today's talk is about anxiety. And this is a big part in my public speaking course, that I go over several methods. I'm going to teach you here the methods that they are necessary for you to be able to cope with this kind of stage fear. So first of all, you have to understand that for this particular presentation, it is normal and expected that you will be nervous. It's a very natural thing to be nervous. You're totally outside of your comfort zone. You are doing something that you have not done before. You are judged. You are with people that they know better than you. Do you need more reasons to make you nervous? So you will be nervous. It's okay. Everybody is nervous. Being well prepared will help a lot. Like usually unprepared students are the ones that they have the most fear, and this fear is justified because they have no idea what they're going to talk about. Live rehearsal will also help. Like you rehearse in front of an audience, like your mom, your dad, some people from work, your classmates or anything. This will make some of the anxiety to go out. This gives you a little bit of experience. That's a good thing. So rehearsing will help you a lot. Most anxiety will go away after the opening. And this is the reason why I'm telling you, prepare your opening extremely well, because this will help you with anxiety a lot. Your emergency slides, you can have some printed notes, and you can have some slide segments that you just read from the slide, limited ones, but still for the most difficult parts of your presentation, they will help a lot. So if you do all those, your anxiety will be to the minimum possible. Now, stage fear has two different components. The first component is the rational component, that you will be nervous because you might be asked something that you do not know the answer. It happens. People in my classes, they ask me questions that I do not know the answer to. I'm trying to make up something. I may be wrong sometimes. I say, this is what I think. If you're interested, come to my office hours and we can work together on this and find an answer. Nobody knows everything. I have seen like the most top seminars that they have attended with people that they are legends and Nobel Prize winners. These are the people that they say most of the times, I do not know the answer. You ask them something and they will be like, I don't know that. Yeah, that would be interesting. Write a paper on it and let me know. Okay, so nobody knows everything. Nobody is always correct. So the rational part of the fear. There is also the irrational part of the fear, which you think that your life depends on this. Like, I'm going there now. I'm going to appear in front of these people, and if I make a mistake, that's it. My life is ruined forever afterwards. So, how are you going to fight the irrational part of the fear? Try to rationalize it. So first of all, what's the worst that can happen? What's the worst that can happen? Let me tell you. I have given more than once an entire lecture with my zipper down. I didn't know. People still said, oh yeah, you know, the professor's zipper was down, that was pretty funny. But actually, this was a pretty good lecture. So what? What will happen? Last year, I had an accident. I broke a part of my leg. I had to give like lectures for a month, sitting on a chair with my food on the table. And I even tried to find the funniest socks that I could find so people could be like keeping entertained. So what's the worst that can happen? You might have a super good presentation, people will be like, okay, so what? You might have an okay presentation, people will be like, nothing. You might have a pretty bad presentation, people will be like, oh yeah, Maria had this presentation that was not that good. And that's it, end of story, it finished there. So we naturally overestimate how much others care about our actions. We naturally believe that, oh yeah, does this shirt look okay because it's a little bit like this? And people are like, what are you talking about? Nobody will notice that. And you might feel uncomfortable all day. Okay, so it might, there are some people that they will try to find something funny about you and laugh. It's their problem. They're jerks. You can do nothing about that. This doesn't make you less of a person. So it's almost impossible to get embarrassed on the stage. Some psychological tips that they work a lot. Choose who you have eye contact with. So if you are in a room, there are some faculty members that they are not the most happy spectacle for everybody. Okay, they look scary, they look intimidating. Here's a trick, don't look at them. Have contact with the people that you feel more present with, because you have to maintain some eye contact. So here, thankfully, there's nobody that scares me. Let me check. Yeah? So I can maintain eye contact with everybody, but if I particularly didn't like this guy here, I will just avoid looking at him because it's causing me anxiety. No personally, you're just in front of me. Okay, so just do that. This is a very nice trick, works all the time. Hold something in your hands. This works even in interviews, like in any time that you feel high anxiety, you can have something in your hands, like for example, a simple pen will do the job. I have a nice pen that supposedly I'm gonna keep notes, and I hold it in my hands, I play with it like that, it helps a lot. This is the whole science behind the fidget spinner. Okay, this is why the fidget spinners made these, they became viral. The reason is because this feeling that you're doing something in your hands actually makes it relax your brain somehow. So I have this little thing, I just go like that all the time. Nobody notices it, but this will make a lot of nervousness go on your arms instead of going to your speech or anywhere else. In the previous presentation, I had one student like that, he gave the presentation, and I told him to hold something on your hands. He took it very literally. So he had this ruler that he said, I'm going to combine two things. First, I'm going to have the ruler. Why do you even have this in class? So I had the ruler, and he said, I'm going to serve two purposes. First, I'm going to have the ruler to point to things, and then it will help me with the anxiety. But in the entire lecture, in the entire presentation, he was like that. He got the ruler, and he was like, so I got him after the presentation. I'm like, why did you have to appear like a Nazi in there? Okay, be self-conscious of what you're doing. Nobody really paid any attention to that, but this is not what I instructed. So he said, but she told us to hold something on our staff. And I was like, what was the next? Take like a wipe and make like you're Indiana Jones or something? Okay, it should be a subtle item. All right, do not hold something that will raise questions or comments. Take a few deep breaths before you start. This is particularly good advice. People are saying that often. The most usual therapy if you have panic attacks is to breathe a little bit of carbon dioxide. So how you can do that, you can take a bag and without covering your nose, just breathe in the bag. You exhale carbon dioxide and then you re-inhale it, and this will help calm you down. Okay, don't keep doing that for more than a minute. You don't want to, but for 6-5 breaths, this will help with anxiety a lot in case you have extreme anxiety. Avoid excessive stimulants because this will really cause you more anxiety. Like if you have a presentation that your graduation depends on it, believe me, you're going to be pretty awake. Okay, so you do not need extra stimulants. And finally, this is a more long-term advice. If you are planning on getting a job that requires for you to give talks and to do public speaking, you will need to include public speaking into your comfort zone. And there are several ways that you can use in order to expand your comfort zone. A very good friend of mine in Greece is a professional comedian. And from when we were kids, like his jokes were hilarious. Like he could write jokes that would make anybody burst into laughs. He had one thing that he could not appear in front of an audience. Like he had this extreme pathological fear. But he also wanted to become a comedian, which involves saying jokes in front of a crowd. So he started, when he realized this deficiency, he started like going to different places, like to public places in the mall, on the street and everything. And he was trying to find people that didn't know and start a conversation with them. Like find like an old guy and start a conversation with, he had a target all the time. So I will get this guy to tell me about what is his political beliefs. So I could go to the park, find an old guy and say, hey, what's up? Nice weather today. Nice. And doing this again and again and again, he started expanding his comfort zone, and he made it up to a point that he could get into a theater with 300 people and don't care at all that these people were there. So this is a good way to expand your comfort zone. From today, it's very important for you to understand that your talk will go okay once you prepare for it. This is one of the most important things. Keep track of your time and do your best. Thank you.